Hello and welcome to the Lost and Faded podcast, where we get faded and lost into whatever movie I'm feeling this week. This week, Joker 2, with me, Byron, and Ash.
Yo.
Welcome back, Ash.
Oh,
This was a movie.
it was a movie. I was going to say good to be back, but it's a movie.
I'm sorry I do this to you. So you want to read the synopsis?
So, struggling with his dual identity, failed comedian Arthur Fleck meets the love of his life, Harley Quinn, while incarcerated at Arkham State Hospital.
That was a really short one.
I couldn't find anything longer. That's why I was looking for a few minutes before we started. I was trying to see if there's like a full anything, but no.
You know they were weird about this movie. So it's directed by Todd Phillips. He did the Hangover movies, and I forgot what else he did. He did a few decent movies. I mean, the Hangover movies were all right.
They're okay. They had their point in time.
Yeah, so it was weird because I kept hearing about this movie was it had musical numbers in it, but they kept saying it's not a musical. So I'm confused on what makes a movie a musical, what doesn't. Because this movie was definitely a musical, I want to say.
Yeah, if you look at when characters are singing, it is probably a third of the movie.
Yeah, it's a
At
decent
least.
amount of the movie. But okay, let's get into the plot. So we start with a Joker cartoon. A little nice, like, Joker in his shadow. And the shadow is, like, trying to be like Joker, trying to take the fame. And Joker's like, chill, just be your shadow. And then,
Yeah.
I guess he's going to, like, a show or something.
This probably is, this might have been that or before he was going to be on a live TV. Or
Oh, yeah. I do think because what happens is the shadow kidnaps him and puts on the suit and makeup, and he beats people up and goes out on stage. So I think they want to say that, like, this is the alter ego of Arthur, the Joker side.
yeah, they keep saying that, he's a very fame-hungry alter ego, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very, the message of the movie is very confusing to me.
It's muddled. I don't even know what the message of the movie really is.
Yeah.
Honestly. So then after the cartoon, it was
Well, it was a little something. It was like a 3-minute short.
and it literally jumps straight into him in jail, and they're like walking, they're getting ready for the morning.
They got to go dump out their poop buckets.
Yeah, whatever those buckets, pee buckets, poop buckets, I don't know why they have buckets of water in there. And and so Arthur's getting ready to see his lawyer today for his trial coming up. So the guards are helping him get ready and stuff. And, like, Arthur is miserable. He doesn't tell any jokes anymore. He doesn't really smile.
Not smiling. He's, according to all the other guards, he would have a joke every day.
Not
Something like
anymore.
that. Not anymore.
And so they help him ready. And he has a weird relationship with these guards, too.
Yeah, they kind of love him, but everyone kind of hates him.
Yeah,
And
it's like a real love-hate relationship. And they're like, yeah, we're friends with you, but you're still a prisoner and don't do anything dumb.
but I'll give you a cigarette if you tell me a joke, but I'll smack you right in the back of the head after it.
It's insane. So they take him to his lawyer, and they're making fun of him as they're taking him to his lawyer. And the lawyer's like, don't listen to him, Arthur. They're idiots. And this lawyer is trying to, like, get Arthur to reveal that the Joker is a separate personality in his mind, which
I don't know if I like that right off their bat. They're trying to say, like, about every single movie that has a multiple personality disorder is immediately someone is trying to kill somebody
Yeah.
or doing something. But
Yeah, it's bad reputation of that. But I don't.
I don't know if I even like that angle though. That was like the true outcome.
Yeah, I don't like any of the. I don't know what they're trying to do with this movie because obviously he has like mental issues. He's hallucinating. He's seeing things, especially in the first movie, which he like hallucinated half a relationship with a person.
Yeah, that was a big reveal in that first movie. About a good half of it was just him, imagining everything.
Yeah, then this one, he's imagining things, but he's imagining singing.
Every single time he has a big theatrical singing, it has to be in his head.
Yeah.
He sings a little bit, but there's nothing like big. Anytime he's going crazy, big show, it's always in his head.
Yeah, literally.
Which again is, as you said before, is probably like a good 20, 30 scenes.
Oh, too many scenes. Too many. And so Arthur's going, oh, I forgot when he's going to his lawyer, he passes this singing class. And there we see Harley Quinn in there. And she's like, she sees him and she's like, she comes out and she's like, puts a gun to her head and like fake shoots herself. And Arthur like smiles or something. And the guards are like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I mean, is there any better reaction than, what the fuck?
I'm like, yeah, like, and then they're like, she's crazy. But then, so Arthur goes and talks to his lawyer, and then she try to make a case for him. And she's like, we got this. We can get you into a nice place, not in this prison. And so he goes back to the prison, and he's still miserable. He's like, I hate this shit. And then the one guard walks up to him, and he's like, I got you in that singing class.
See, which again, they try and throw it in there very quickly. I don't know, why did he pick the singing class over anything else? They're like, oh, the head guard guy is trying to get a good name or something. Like,
it looked like he liked singing, the head guard.
Yeah.
I forgot this head guard's name, but he plays kind of a big part in this movie.
Yeah, no, he has a turning point.
Definitely a turning point.
He is.
And so he's like, I signed you up because you've been so good. We can go tomorrow. And so now Arthur's like happy. And he's like, yes, I get to go and see this girl or whatever.
See this girl and pretend we could shoot ourselves.
They should have did that. But then, so he goes to the singing class, and I don't like this movie.
No, it's not amazing.
No.
They go to the singing class. There's the random guy who gives a whole big thing about how you sing to help realign yourself and your fragmented self or whatever he said like that.
Which it's another going into the multiple personalities, which I'm like, he's Joker. He's Arthur Fleck and Joker are one person. They're the same person. There is a Joker. I want to say that much.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a thing later. But they're in the singing class. He goes right next to Harley Quinn and they're looking at each other. And then it kind of fades to later in the class where Harley Quinn's on the windowsill smoking a cigarette. Also, every other scene, he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I mean, if you're already a smoker before taking the role, good for you. You're in.
Yeah, literally, like every other scene, like there he is smoking again. Like it's very noticeable. It's kind of too in your face at points where I'm like, we get it. He smokes.
Yeah. See, I wonder if it's going to be almost like he's more Joker-y while he's smoking or something like that. Because at one point, his therapist, his lawyer, I mean, he's going to go speak to a therapist and the lawyer's trying to like prep him like, oh, actually, no, it's later in the movie anyways. But she says, don't smoke because it makes you look more gruff or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So I thought they're still going for some weird, multiple personality angle or something.
Well, I mean, he smokes when he's just regular.
He just smokes though. Yeah.
He's
Man just smokes.
he has a problem. And so he's talking to Harley Quinn, and then she starts saying how like she's like him. They grew up in the same neighborhood. Her father died.
Their mom was shitty, you know.
Yeah. And then Arthur's like, someone like me,
Hey,
finally.
me too.
And so now they're into each other. And that's all that they really talk about right there. And I mean, she also is like, are you really him? I watched
your movie 20 times, your documentary on you 20 times.
They have like a TV movie or documentary about him, which she kept saying is good, but everyone else kept saying it's bad. So I think it's bad.
It's probably bad.
And then, so he goes back to the regular jail part, and he's happy. He's enjoying his life.
And then his one friend in prison goes up and says, the guards told me you know how to kiss, and then he kisses him, and that's something that happens.
I don't know why it happens. It happens. Yeah. It's a scene.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes like that in this movie where I was like, I guess that happened.
They just kind of happen. The movie's happening.
And then so they go back to like the like rec room where they had like the TV and stuff. And Harvey Dent is on TV talking about how he's gonna get give Arthur the death penalty. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah, damn. They jump straight into like heavy shit. Like
they're like, you're gonna die.
Yeah, and then this is when we have the first big musical moment. Yeah, because he has like a full theatrical dancing around like the room.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not alone or some shit like that.
And then this is 3-4 minutes song, and then he just pops back to him staring at the TV.
Yeah, nothing happens. Just a dream sequence. Which this movie, it's literally a lot of moments where it's just like they're just randomly talking and just jump straight into a song. And sometimes it's not even that long. It's like a minute, 30 seconds. They just do a little quick song and then they go back to talking like nothing just happened.
I don't know. Is that meant to be... I don't know if it's meant to be even anything like artistic. Like we're trying to follow how he sees everything. I don't know.
I think this movie is made to make us feel crazy. That's what it made me feel like. We're going to these random scenes and we're having like, there are some like fun or like decent act scenes and stuff, but then it's just randomly, here's a music scene. Also, Lady Gaga's carrying the musical part of it.
She was.
Yeah.
So anytime the Joker sings, it's always, well, I'm going to keep saying the Joker because I'm never going to remember his actual name offhand, but anytime the Joker singing, it's not great, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun at least.
It's fun when he's singing as the Joker.
As the Joker.
If he's Arthur, it's okay.
He sings randomly as himself with no backing music, which I guess, again, is meant to make sense because he's singing as Arthur, not the Joker.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, he sings for like a solid like minute and a half, 2 minutes, just full acapella, just full no background music.
And then I don't even know what happens. This movie is so back and forth. I think what happens next is he goes back to his lawyer.
Yeah.
And he has to talk in front of a camera to explain, like, talk about what happened to him and like the crimes he committed so that they can see if he's like, if he can stand trial. And then he goes in there, he's already like in a better or like more of himself than he was before. So he's smoking a cigarette on camera.
Yep.
And he's like not even answering the questions. He's just like, whatever, I don't care. And so then they're like, okay, he can stand trial.
I guess, yeah, if you're giving him nothing.
Literally.
But like, I don't know. What does this movie take place again?
Like time period?
Yeah.
I want to say the 80s.
Sounds about right.
I think it's the 80s. I don't know. It's also 2 years after the first movie. So he's been in there for a minute.
One other thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the movie, when he walks out of his cell, I wonder if they specifically cast him because of how messed up he can make his shoulder blades and like shoulders in general just look like.
It looked disgusting.
His backbones were like just protruding.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like in the first one, they showed a bunch of that too. Cause he like starved himself for that.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy. He's fucking starved, smoking these cigarettes on set.
I mean, that's why it's appetite suppressant. See?
I can't even imagine that set. That must have been wild. And so, I swear, this one's all over the.
There's a lot going on.
Okay, so I know what's next. So he gets allowed to go to this movie night, which that's where all his singing people are because they're in a separate wing of the prison. So he's going to that movie night with the guard because this guard is like, I'm gonna use Arthur to go watch a movie and go to a singing class. And so Arthur's sitting next to Harley, and they're just talking, and she's like, "Let's get out of here." And Arthur's like, "They'll shoot me."
Yeah, Arthur is just stone face. Just they're gonna shoot me.
They will kill me if I try to leave. And then so she's like, oh, "Great," and then she gets up. Fake like she's lighting a cigarette, but lights a thing of matches, throws it in a piano, and then goes back and sits back down.
And then the fire burns for like a solid minute before anyone notices and is taking up half the room, which no one turns around or feels the heat.
Yeah, you would feel that heat. It took them a bit too. I guess the movie was really good.
It was a good movie, whatever they were playing.
I don't know. But then, so they're all freaking out leaving, and then it gives them an opportunity to like run a different way out, like near the fire, just being super unsafe. Like, I mean, they're crazy. So.
Yeah, they're crazy. That's a line they say many times too. Is the Joker asking Harley Quinn if
she's crazy.
Are you
she's
crazy?
Like, yeah, I'm crazy. And so they run out. They're running like near the cars and stuff, and they're singing to each other. Harley just randomly starts singing, and then they're singing like running outside. They're dancing in the parking lot.
Dancing. This is where they kiss a few times, and then they run up to a big gate because there's a bunch of reporters outside the prison now, just because they just made the whole big thing about how they're gonna, execute the Joker.
Mm-hmm. And they jump on the gates, and they're like, "Whoa!" And the guards are running, and they pull them out.
They just yank them.
I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? I guess they just don't care. Joker's in love, so he doesn't give a fuck.
Exactly. He's happy now. He's got someone who gets it.
And so they put Arthur in the hold, and that's when so he falls asleep.
Yeah, God, I forgot about this too.
And then he has a little dream sequence of them dancing on a hotel Arkham. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. But this was one of the short ones. This was like a minute 30.
They had a whole like setup for this.
Yeah, I was like, you're only going to use a minute 30 for this? And then it cuts back to him waking up, and Harley's in the cell, and she's like, one of the guards let me in. We don't have much time. They're sending me home.
You're a bad influence on me.
I was just like,
God.
What's going on? She just needed one day with him to, I guess, make him obsessed with her.
I guess.
But then, so they're like, okay, and then they do some things in the hold.
They do some things in the hold. It genuinely lasts about 10 or so seconds.
That was a rough scene too. I was like, we did not need to see all this. You could have cut away anything about this. It was sad. And then, so then it goes to the next day, And then this is where he's talking to that therapist for the court session before the trial. Was it a therapist or was it like a
I think it was just like I think it was just like a interview guy. I don't know who he was.
Interviewer guy,
Yeah,
not a therapist.
like a TV or whatever.
And so Arthur's there, and it's already been like a week or so since then. Harley got out, and she's been like talking to like news.
Yeah, everybody knows who she is. Like all the other reporters.
And so he's talking to this guy, and this guy is like grilling him about the murders and shit. And he just starts, he's like, I don't care about this. All that matters is I have someone who understands me.
Yeah, just the whole thing about, you're asking about what happened then, but what about who I've become?
Yeah.
And the guy just randomly goes, oh, so you're saying the Joker did it, not you? That's a whole big thing.
Yeah, them pushing this. He's not the Joker. The Joker's a different personality. Like, I'm like, he's crazy. He is the Joker.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, even if the Joker was a separate personality, even if it's not, and if he's still the Joker, he's crazy.
See, like the whole point of like the legal argument is that it has to be multiple personalities for him to get off of, not get the death penalty. Like, but you could still be proven crazy for other things.
Yeah,
than just
literally.
multiple personalities, right?
I don't know. It's just rough. And so this dude's grilling him. He's getting mad. He's getting frustrated. So he starts singing. And this is one of the times where it's just no extra production or anything. It's just Arthur singing about how much he loves Harley and how she understands him.
And it's being broadcast on live TV.
Yeah.
So then it goes over to Harley, and she is watching through a TV in like a window.
Yeah.
And then she just throws a garbage can at it and steals the TV.
It's like, okay, we get it. You're crazy, Harley.
Of course she's crazy. Everything is like a jump cut. Nothing really smoothly slides in. Like, oh, this scene happens. Now, of course, this is going to happen.
It's not a good flow at all, the more I think about it.
Yeah.
It was a rough movie to get through because there was just a random singing and then just scenes. And then I'm just trying to remember what happened.
So I believe after that is when we have the first day of the trial.
That's the first day of the trial?
I think so.
Okay. First day of the trial. He seems all right. He's chilling. He's laughing in the car because he's nervous. He does this crazy laugh. And so they get to the trial, and Harley's late for some reason.
Yeah, he's staring throughout the courtroom trying to find Harley.
And she's just outside smoking a cigarette, singing. It's another minute or so of singing. Just so unnecessary. Yeah. And so she finally comes in, and they're starting the trial. And that's when they bring the therapist in, right?
Yeah, that's where there's a random guy therapist, yeah.
Guy therapist, and Harvey Dent is like saying how like trying to prove that he's not crazy and that the Joker isn't really a separate personality. And the doctor's like, yeah, it's not. And he doesn't seem crazy at all.
No, he's just got depression, anxiety, no friends, and a narcissist or something like that is what he was saying he had.
Yeah, like none of this adding up for anyone. And then the Arthur's lawyer comes on and she's like, he only interviewed him for like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He said he did it for 2 hours and he didn't even look at any of these documents or act.
Read his old papers.
So I'm like, nice, they got one right there. And then
there's another thing where she starts bringing up like when he was a kid, he got abused, all the bad shit that happened to him. And then
I don't remember if they said anything in the first movie.
I thought they went into it a little bit.
They might have actually went into it a little bit because it's been a while since I rewatched part of it but I also fell asleep during part of it, the rewatch.
Yeah, I probably should have done my homework too and at least watch some, but
But yeah, the mom was kind of like, she would call him unfunny and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, so they get into that shit of him being abused by his mom and how the state brought him back to his abuse.
And then it's just, they zoom in on him having like a panic attack or something for a minute. I'm like,
Someone help this man.
someone, yeah.
And so the trial, or the day of that court date ends, and as they're leaving, the lawyer's like, you have to stop talking to Harley. She's just gonna ruin this trial. And he's like, no, she's making it work. She's helping a lot. And I'm just like, what is she doing?
I don't know. Like you're saying, they've had their little scenes together, but he's
obsessed.
in love, yeah.
I wish there was more of a build up to their relationship. It was literally like he saw her once, they had a conversation, and now they're in love.
Yeah, like I vaguely remember in the first one too, even though it was all in his head,
There was still
the fake relationship he had still was like, oh, here's a little meet cute. Oh, and then they go out and do this and oh.
Yeah, it's a build up, and this one has just happened.
Yeah, here they meet each other, they talk for a little bit. She lights up a piano, and then how they're infatuated.
And so the lawyer's like, also, she lied about all the stuff she was saying to you. She's not, she didn't grow up in the same neighborhood as you, and her dad isn't dead. Her family's rich, and she lives with them.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what?
She wouldn't lie to me.
And so he goes back to jail, and then...
Oh, wait, but immediately after this scene, this is where he has another musical scene.
Before that, Harley comes and like yells at the lawyer, a bunch of news people, and she's like, "You don't know him. He is the Joker." I was like, "Okay, Harley, like, what is she doing in this movie? She just,
I don't know.
She's being a mess." Okay.
See, that's the whole thing I was trying to figure out too with her, because I thought they were maybe going to pull the angle of he was maybe going to, go straight or something like that, but she was going to make him do so. I don't know. I immediately thought they were going to paint her out as being like the big villain of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, that would have made sense. And they even brought up her psychiatry training.
Yeah, it's a throwaway line that she's like a psychology major or whatever. Like,
and that's the thing about the dynamic of the comics of Harley and Joker is Joker made Harley crazy.
Yeah.
And it's to show that Joker can just make people crazy, and it just takes a one-day thing.
It's a very odd thing in this because...
she's just already crazy.
Yeah. And I know they're also trying to make the Joker out as like a sympathetic character because, a lot of stuff goes bad for him.
Yeah,
but
it's constantly them trying to do that.
Yeah, but like even with like you're saying before with the Joker, the whole dynamic is that Harley Quinn is gone mad because of him, all the bad stuff he has done.
No,
but in this one here, it's literally just her egging him on constantly.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, she probably should have been the villain. It should have been more of that angle of her manipulating him to get back to being the Joker. Yeah,
that at least would have been more
satisfying,
interesting.
But so we get to this dream sequence, and oh my god. So they're doing a talk show, they're singing, and then they get into like a little argument about like Harley's talking over him or singing over him.
Yeah, and trying to be like, oh, I'm taking the spotlight kind of thing.
And then so Harley pulls out a gun and just shoots him.
So just shoots him right in the gut. Like,
I guess it's alluding to the fact.
Sorry, shoots him in the head, but yeah, let's go on.
I guess it's alluding to the fact that like she betrayed him by lying to him or whatever. And so he's back to being moody in his jail place. And she visits him and he's like, "What do you want?" She's like, "What's wrong?"
Yeah, why?
Like, "Are you lying to me?" And she's like, "Yeah.
Yeah, of course I am."
She's like, "I'm crazy. I told you that." And she just keeps lying because they're just talking. I'm like, she's just lying to him. And I think at this point she's like, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, she just pulls out the, oh, I'm pregnant. And like, oh, I guess that's why they had to have the 15-second scene. Actually, it was probably like a minute or two scene. But
she had to get something for that lie.
yes.
So obviously it's a lie. Come on.
It's gotta be a lie, right? How? And the whole build up with her is that I don't think we're supposed to believe anything she ever tells us.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they know what they wanted to do with the character.
I don't know.
And so then she like puts the lipstick on the thing and she's like, be the Joker or whatever. And they do a little scene where he smiles with the lipstick. And it's a nice scene, or that's a nice moment, but the scene is not good.
No.
And there's a lot of moments like that where I was like, that was shot beautifully, but the dialogue, it wasn't it.
There's even the scene too where well, like you're saying before too, everyone is smoking all the time. Then she immediately goes, I'm pregnant, as she's smoking a cigarette. So I'm like,
It was the 80s.
it was the 80s. There was no health.
They didn't
no
care.
health risks in the 80s.
And then, so I think next it goes to the next day of trial,
Yeah.
which this time they brought up the neighbor chick that he was obsessed with. And she's talking about how, like, his mother...
That was later on,
Oh, is
right?
that later?
I thought that was, yeah, a little bit later. Because I think this time they're bringing on the one psychiatrist lady he spoke to, who he just didn't say anything to.
Yeah. And she had
His diary,
the
right?
journal.
Yeah.
And they were reading it. And he was like, that's personal. And the judge is like, shut up. And then they keep going for this focus of the Joker split personality bullshit.
Yeah.
Trying to get through this movie was rough because it's long, and then we have some decent scenes followed by random musical numbers that we don't know how long these musical numbers are going to be for. It could be a minute, it could be 4 minutes. It was
Yeah, who knows? Because that could have been interesting too if the Joker, if he had big musical sequences when he was specifically trying to be the Joker.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing, like, oh, maybe it is all him trying to put on a show and be a big personality, you know, but
I don't know.
I don't know. He's just singing all the time. Which in a certain context is fine.
Yeah,
but this one here not being a musical, it's very confusing.
I guess it's not. I don't know if it's a musical or not.
It's blurring the lines.
It doesn't have any, like, it has a few big musical numbers, but it doesn't have like an actual like whole song that's a musical and a whole production type shit. It has these small numbers that like small productions and then just back to normal dialogue. So it's like they were trying to toy the line of being a musical or not. Because I guess there's a stigma against musicals. I don't know.
Well, I guess.
Musicals are fine. Why do you hate
I think people would have watched musical Joker, right?
Yeah, just say it's a fucking musical. It's basically a musical. Oh my god. Okay. Well, what happens after the therapist?
So after the therapist,
witness.
This is when the lawyer starts trying to get the whole angle of, oh, he had to have been acting crazy. So, you know, here's what happened to him as a kid. Here's so yada yada yada. And then again, this is where he has like a breakdown, right? And then I know he has like a full breakdown, but this is where he starts. This is where he's talking to Harley because she's also sitting in like on the trial and it's being broadcast and all this. But isn't this where he goes mad and starts like and fires the lawyer?
No, because
was that later?
That was during I think they bring the other witness in. Maybe that was the same day of court. There's like 3 or 4 court days.
A lot of court.
It moves between scenes and it's just like, what are we doing? But okay, so then I think that's when they bring the neighbor, because that's when he goes crazy. He goes crazy when the neighbor.
Does the neighbor come in twice? Because wasn't the Actually, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah, so the neighbor's in there.
Yeah, the neighbor he was obsessed with that he made up a relationship about in the first movie. She's in there and she's explaining to the Harvey Dent about how the mom felt about. No, wait, no. She was just calling him crazy when it was Harvey Dent. But then when the lawyer came in, she was trying to do the mom, like,
Yeah, oh, you knew him and his mom?
and the mom called him crazy.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I told him this stupid fantasy when he was a child of like, you're put here to put smiles on people's faces. Then she's like, I can't believe he fell for it. Now he's a joker as an adult,
That's
like a clown or whatever.
That's a fucked up mom.
Yeah,
That's crazy. And then that's when he has his breakdown.
that's when he has a full breakdown.
He
Yeah.
hears that and he's like, that's how my mom felt about me? He's mad. He's like, I'm glad I killed her. And then so that's when he gets mad and he's like, all right, I'm done.
Goes to his lawyer, you're fired. I'm representing myself.
And then he basically like the Joker scene basically, and the crowd's cheering, and the judge is like, all right, chill out, everyone. And so they let him do it.
Yeah, they're like the lawyer and Harvey Dent and all of them are like, this is probably the dumbest idea ever, and they disagreed with it, but the judge was fine with it, so whatever.
This judge just wanted the show. And so he goes back to jail, and then is there a scene in between him going back to jail and then the next day where he's basically the Joker? It was probably
Yeah, that's right. That he's Harley again when he's in like a holding cell at the courthouse.
oh yeah, and they're talking.
And they're talking, and then
They kiss.
they kiss, and then there's a guard who keeps shouting every 5 seconds, "Hey, don't touch!"
And then he smokes a cigarette and blows it into her mouth. And I was like, what's going on with this
I don't know.
cigarette shit?
Cigarettes are a key point. That's why they need to be there.
I guess. I'm so sick of this movie. And then so we go to the next day of trial. He's in full Joker makeup, and the judge is like, he's allowed to wear it. I said it was fine.
Yeah. Again, the judge is just like, there's this court case. He can dress how he wants to.
And so now they bring up this little guy from the first movie. I forgot what his name was.
I don't remember, but yeah, he worked at the same clown place.
Yeah, he was the guy that witnessed Joker stabs the other dude that they worked with to death and smash his head in. And so it's fucked up. He's a little person,
Yeah.
mind you. He's walking in. There's people laughing at
People
him.
are literally laughing in the stands. He's just walking. He looks very frightened to be
Yeah.
there.
And I'm like, this dude's traumatized. He doesn't want to be here. He gets on the stand, and then the movie has its own joke of him sitting on the yellow pages.
Yeah, it just literally pans behind him. It starts at like the base of the chair and goes up, and you see the yellow pages. Like,
Why would you do that? That's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. That's a fucked up joke. Anyway, so Harvey Dent's trying to get the dude to talk about how Arthur's crazy, or how it was the same Arthur, and blah blah blah. And he was just trying to show that Arthur was just normally killing people. And then Arthur comes up, or Joker now, and then he puts on this accent.
it's like a bad Southern accent. Like,
And he's doing a little kind of like a stand-up routine up there. He's walking up. He's like talking to people.
oh, is your last name really Puddle?
Does that for like a minute.
It's like yeah. Which again, I guess would have played off the first movie. He's not a very good stand-up.
Yeah. And so then he starts like saying stuff to Puddles, and then Puddles just starts freaking out because he's like, don't you remember you were the nicest person to me? You didn't make any jokes about me, and then you just killed someone in front of me.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I let you go.
Yes. And then just like, he's like, I'm scared all the time. I can't sleep. Like, I think the line was like, I've never felt so small or something like that.
I think people laughed at that.
Yeah, people were laughing.
In the court. Maybe in the movie theater too.
I don't know.
I hope not in the movie theater. But then Arthur's like, enough. No more questions. And the dude's still crying, yelling stuff at him. He's like, you were my friend. He's like,
You know how bad this feels? Like,
and he's like, Judge, I said enough questions. So then it goes, after that, the judge is like, any more witnesses? And Harvey Dent's like, nope, no more witnesses. That's it for us, the state side.
wait, one other thing happened here as well. After he's done with the witness, he went on a whole little... Does he have a big rant after he rests his case, or is that before?
He does have a little rant. I think it's...
I don't know. I'm getting every scene kind of half mixed up.
Yeah, it's a mess. There is a little rant. He does a little rant at everyone, like about how like they tear him down and like they don't look at it. It's the same rant he
specifically
has every
says
time.
like the fat guards at the prison.
Oh yeah, he called out the guards at the prison. And I know that one guard that was got into the singing class felt a way.
Yeah, it cuts to that guard just looking very mad at the TV.
He called him fat, stupid. Like, dude, you're going back there tonight. He's dumb for that.
He's dumb. But yeah, the prosecutor rests his case, and then
Joker's like, no defense, we're good. Yeah, and then I think he probably had the speech after that.
He probably had a speech after that, and then went, yeah.
And he's getting all the cheers, and he's happy going back to jail. And he gets there, they're pissed.
The guards immediately, the second he walks in there, grab him and start dragging him down a hall.
Yeah, they wash off his makeup.
What did they like bash him against the wall?
Yeah, they rip off his clothes, then they put him in the holding cell.
Yeah, I don't know. They tear off his clothes and they cut away from him. I'm just like, what in the...
We did miss a moment. We missed a moment after the second court trial when he was like, I'm representing myself. Mm-hmm. There was a little bit of a riot that he caused.
That's right. In
the cafeteria.
He just walked into there, and his one friend guy in there starts singing "When the Saints Go Marching In."
Yeah, he starts singing that. All Arthur does is jump on the table. Then that dude jumps on the table and starts singing that. And then they're like, everyone's getting riled up, and then the main head guard dude knocks the dude over.
He just grabs his leg, and he just falls really hard on his back.
And then you think it's over, but then more of them start doing the song again, and then it just shows a bunch of cops or guards running in, and the scene ends with them like yelling and shit.
They're just yelling and beating up people, and then Arthur's just standing on a table laughing, like.
And he's fine. I don't think he gets in trouble for that.
I don't think so at all.
And then so, linking to that, the friend's in the holding cell too, across from him. He starts singing that again, and the head guard is like, "Shut up!" And he continues to sing that. So they open the door. Oh my god! And the head guard strangles this kid.
Yeah, to death, right?
Yeah, to death, because they're like, he's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. That never seems. I don't know. I don't think that has much of a toll on him, right?
No, it doesn't. They literally don't even talk about it anymore. It's just a scene that happens.
See, does the friend character really exist for much at all? Because like it could have been anybody who started like the big chant for him in like the cafeteria, or I don't know.
I don't know. It was just a random character that they just had that I don't know what they wanted with him. Like a lot of these characters, I feel like they were just adding characters, and they're like, we don't know what to do with them now. So after he kills, the guard kills that dude. It goes to the next day of trial.
He is having another like dream or hallucination or something where it's him like posing with the Joker makeup.
Yeah.
And then he washes it off his face. Then we go to like him in the car going to the courthouse. Then he just looks like super serious and depressed.
Yeah, he's very depressed. He gets to the court and they want a final statement from him. And so he grabs the mic and grabs a stool like he's about to do a stand-up. And then he just gets depressed.
Yeah.
Before he even starts, and he's like, there is no Joker. It's just me.
It's just me. I did it. I killed 6 people. I wish I didn't. I also killed my mother. I feel really bad about that.
And Harley's just sitting there, and she has her own makeup for the day because she thinks this is the day. And then, nope, it's not. He gave up.
Good, like 20 or 30 people while he's making this big rant. Like walk out of the courthouse because they're so upset.
They're like, there's no Joker? What the fuck? I was like, you saw the Joker the other day. He just did it yesterday. And no one's saying he's crazy. Whatever. And so they're like, they get this info. And so the jurors go and make their decision. And while they're making their decision, Joker calls Harley. He's like, can you please come back to the court?
Please come back here. I need you.
He starts singing a song. It cuts to Harley and she pulls a gun to her head as he's singing. And then it cuts away before we see anything. And then it's back to the court. And the jurors are like, he's guilty. And they keep saying guilty for each charge as this is happening. Just randomly.
He starts laughing. Well, he starts laughing more and more. And then a random guy in the courthouse just goes up just to like, stop laughing, you sick.
Yeah.
And then just like, I don't know.
He grabs him to the crowd.
Pulls him back in the crowd.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. And then while that's happening, then there's this huge explosion bomb going off. And at that point, I'm like, what the fuck are we doing in this movie?
I don't know. That would have been more interesting if that happened while he was the Joker. I don't know. Because at that point, I would think people would be disillusioned. Oh, I'm not going to do this because he's...
Honestly, it feels like that whole moment where he was like, I'm not the Joker, should not have happened in the movie. It should have him continuing to be Joker. Maybe in between that, before he even says that, the explosion goes off. But Harley should have been there with the explosion. And it should have been like them two getting away type shit. But no, she's already disappointed, gone. The explosion goes off. He goes and runs to escape. Some random 2 Joker dudes find him and drive him around for like a minute.
He's just laying down.
Yeah, he's just like out of it. And then he realizes what's happening. He runs away from them. Then the police pull up.
He's like concussed the whole time. Is somehow able to get into a full sprint for a couple miles, I'd have to assume. Like
a full sprint, escaping police. He like just runs away. And he finds a staircase from the first movie. And there he finds Harley. And Harley's just sitting there looking depressed as fuck. She cut her hair. Which, there was no point to
There was no point to that. I thought it was going to... I don't know. They're obviously trying to reference how she has a short hair in like later series stuff. I don't know.
If that should have been a point where maybe she should have been like, I'm the villain. We were supposed to escape with this bomb. Let me try and kill you. Maybe she should have tried killing you.
Yeah, that's where, because they pull back to that scene where they had the talk show and she shot him in the gut, like probably, they cut back to that probably 8-9 times. So I thought this would have been the scene where he goes up to her, he's like, I'm not the Joker, I'm Arthur. Don't you love me? And I thought this would have been like where she would have shot him or something.
Yeah, he
like,
could have. Honestly, if he got shot right there and died on the stairs, I would have been fine with that ending.
Yeah, it would have been whatever. It would have been like, oh, Harley was just taking advantage of this guy who was mentally ill.
Yeah. But instead, she's like, we're done. There's no Joker. You gave up. And she walks away.
Yeah, you gave up on the illusion.
Yeah, she's like, it was all a fantasy.
All fantasy, yeah.
I'm just like, okay, crazy. I
don't know. Once again, the whole.
I don't know.
This is where they really lost it. Up until then, I didn't look up reviews for this movie specifically because I like going into movies mostly blind, and I could see where the bad ratings are coming in. But I was like, because I'm like, oh, the rest of the movie, it was all right, but it's gonna have like a decent ending at least, right?
No. And so she leaves, and then as she's leaving, the cops pull up. They take Arthur back to jail, and he's back to being miserable. He's gonna be executed. I think they show like a cartoon on the TV that he's just watching. He's just sitting there. And then a guard walks.
Wait, is that meant to be like their relationship? Because Pepe Le Pew and like the cat. So it's like this. The cartoon he's watching was like the skunk who's going after the cat. Is that meant to be like him and Harley Quinn or something? Is that what the joke is?
That's probably what it's supposed to be.
God,
this was supposed to be some sort of love story, but I don't know. I honestly don't know what type of movie this was supposed to be.
The whole time I was trying to be like, I'll think it over way at the end and figure out what movie this is because it's not making sense halfway through.
And then so he's sitting there, and the guard's like, "You have a visitor, Arthur." Which we're like, "Is that Harley? Is she back? Is she gonna say something else to him?" So he's walking.
He's walking back out there. The guard who was escorting him just walks away for some reason, like leaves him unattended.
I think that was like
it was like a setup.
Yeah. And so this random dude, they showed him like in the beginning. I remember it shot up him and he was just looking in the background at Arthur. And I was just like, that's weird that they show that dude. This dude just walks up to him and he's like telling him this dumb joke.
What happens? Can I tell you a joke about a psychopath who runs into a clown at a bar?
Yeah, and it's basically the punchline is you get what you deserve, and he stabs Arthur like twice, and Arthur's just standing there, and it cuts to him getting shot with the gun, and I don't even remember what they said.
I don't know, but this is like the guy too. He said you see him looking at him, but he never has a line up until this point.
He just randomly comes up, and then this is the part that really pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. So Arthur's like dead dying on the floor, and the dude behind him just starts doing like a Joker laugh.
He like rubs like the bloody knife on like his face. Like
I don't know if he was rubbing it or he was cutting him. Oh, either way he was doing that.
I was thinking himself the Joker smile.
Yeah, I think himself the Joker. That's what pissed me off. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? Oh. And it ended like that. That's how it ended.
That's it. That's the end.
It was a movie.
Yeah, I don't see. The whole movie would have just been that much better if it was like, even if he died at the end, it would have been whatever. But like, if he was playing up with the whole Joker thing, they had like a whole scene, like a whole arc where he's like, oh, maybe I am actually the Joker.
Yeah.
Just for him to like get horribly beat up, but then I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm not the Joker.
I'm not actually insane. I murdered people, and then it's fine.
It's dumb.
I deserve it to be executed by the state, right?
Seriously. I honestly think they got this idea for this movie based off that dancing scene in the first one where he was doing a little dancing.
Yeah.
Because in this movie he does a lot of dancing. He's just doing a lot of the same dancing moves that he's doing in the first one. And it feels like they were like, let's just do more of the same. Maybe we make it a musical this time.
See, even like the music numbers in the first one, most of the time it wasn't. He didn't sing very often, did he? Right?
In the first one, I don't think there was.
See, I know he sung a little bit, but there was like where it had like.
It was like maybe one.
There was like music playing in the background, like very prominent music for a scene.
And he would dance a little bit, but this one is music scenes for some reason, it feels like they don't know what type of movie they want to do. They have like this court drama going on with this dumb love story,
Yeah.
and none of it like blends well. It just feels like a bunch of different scenes together.
See, the whole thing with the first one that kind of kept it moving along was we see this guy who's already at like a very low point, but no matter what, it always keeps getting lower and lower until it builds at the end where he is now, he's now praised by a bunch of people who are causing a big riot, and he's excited about that. So then it's like, it's not good attention, but now he finally has attention from people and everything. So it's like, oh, this is building. This one here, he starts off at a really bad point.
Yeah.
He continues to be in a really bad point, ends in an even worse point.
It's just all the same stuff. What would you give this rating? I would say 2.5.
I've got to say about a 3. Once again, I found myself not being upset with it until it got near the end, because again, I didn't know what to expect at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say a 3 because I went into it blind. The rest of the movie is like, it's building to something. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's got to be something.
And then
this is what we got. All right, well, that was Joker 2. It was a movie.
It's a movie. One last thing I want to say here, when you look up Joker 2 on Google, there's some, in a nutshell, couple words. It's alienated, extreme, and hallucinatory are the 3 words to use to describe this movie.
I agree with all those.
Yeah.
I did not feel good watching this.
No, there's never like any fun or happy points is there.
No.
Because at least again, comparing it to the first one, like you see like the first 3 people he kills they're not great people.
No,
and then he just shoots them, and then he not good, but he did something that was
like a victory. I mean,
it's like a little victory. Yeah.
I would say maybe after the first time he dressed up as Joker for the court, that was a little bit like, yeah, moment. But then it just, it kind of suddenly went downhill. All he thought about was Harley the whole time. I was like, damn, he really did get obsessed about those girls. All right, well, thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Hold up.